So, seemingly out of nowhere last Friday, Cricut announced the Cricut Maker 4. As you know, I am a huge Cricut fan, so I immediately got online and ordered this so that I could test it out so you can have the information and decide if this is a product you're going to need or not. So, let's get into it. Okay, so I did order mine directly from Cricut. So we're going to go ahead and get this opened up. So if you order from them, I'm sure if you did like a bundle with materials and stuff, it probably would be packaged a little bit differently. Maybe not. I honestly don't know. But this is apparently like I was expecting. Honestly, I was expecting another box inside. And that is not what we have. Ooh, that color's pretty. It's like kind of pink, even though I hate pink. That's okay. Let's go ahead and get these pieces out. And get the machine out. Here's all of our cords and whatnot. Let's move the big box. Okay. All right, so we've got our power cord. We've got the cable. If you do want to plug it directly into your computer, you can do that. I haven't had an issue with them in quite a while, so well, it's kind of a pink. It's kind of like a blush more so than pink, I guess. I don't know. It's pretty. It is very pretty. But then Cricut's stuff is always really pretty. So let's open this up. Okay. And when you open it up all the way, of course, you've got some foam in here that needs to come out. So this would be your pin holder and, of course, your blade holder. And this would be for any of the different blades for the maker. Okay. So let's see what is in this little packet. Oh, there's a mat in there. I didn't see that. Okay, it did come with the light grip mat, which honestly is the mat I prefer 90% of the time. All right, so if we open this up, we've got a black pin. We've got our directions, or no, directions, yes. So a little getting to know you kind of tells you what everything is and does. And in several languages. So let's see here. We've got smart iron-on sample, removable smart vinyl sample, also in black. Looks like there's three of that one. We've also got some cardstock, and we've got transfer tape. So typically with Cricut, and we have this little thing, the little mini weeder, which I have weeding tools, so chances of me actually using that are fairly low. But let me go ahead and get this one plugged in, and we can go through the setup. Okay, so we are plugged in, so let's go ahead and see if I can switch to screen share. Okay, so let's turn this on. And then we're going to come up here under settings, and we are going to do machine, new product setup, set up a cutting machine, continue, Cricut Maker 4, and continue. And then it's going to just go through a couple of things like how to plug it in, how far away from the wall you need to be, that kind of stuff. Okay, let's see here. Well, come on, let's find it. Okay, I had to go out and back in, and I think it's actually going to find it this time, but we'll see. Aha, okay, the little light turned blue, so it is finding it. There we go. So we're good. And it might do that. I've had them do that before, where you have to try a couple times before it'll actually find it, but it is fairly simple. All right, we are connected. So we're going to go ahead and agree and activate. Okay. So every time you have a new Cricut, it is going to, there's always going to be like some sort of little test project. Okay. Okay. And then the text, we're going to do, oh, it won't let me do that big. We'll just do Jen. Okay. And continue, and then make it. Where is it? There we go. Okay. All right. We're good there. We're good there. Okay, so because this is the smart material, you don't have to use a mat with their smart materials. If you have like Oracal vinyl or whatever, then you do. Okay, so I'm going to put it in there. Just put a little bit of pressure, hit the little load button, and then it's going to measure. And that measured way faster than the Maker 3, I can tell you that much. Okay, go light is flashing. We'll hit that. And let's see how long this takes to cut. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do them side by side. So the 3 and the 4, and we'll see. We'll see which one is faster. Okay. There we go. Okay, that's fast. I will say that. That is definitely moving at a good pace here. All right, so that was all of what, maybe 40 seconds, if that. Okay, we're going to check it. We do have the cut lines in here. You can kind of see it. It's not real easy to see. Okay, so let's see if we can switch back. Okay, so like I said, you can see it just barely there. So rather than weed it entirely, I am going to just pull this off like so. So there's our little test project. Since this is removable, we're going to just stick it on there like so. All right, so let me move a couple things and get set up, and then we will do a side-by-side test. So I'll be right back. Okay, so this is just a cut or draw and cut project out of Design Space. This is not my design. because that's going to be easiest to really test, because one of the things it's supposed to do immensely faster is to write and draw, which is honestly like one of my favorite features of the Cricut. That's the one that I use a lot. Like I've labeled all of my drawers, my craft room, all that kind of thing, using that. So that's what we're going to use. We're going to say make, and then I'm going to change my material size because I am using 8.5 by 11. And it's going to look for the machine. And once it finds it, then we'll go ahead and set our material. So I'm actually using a heavy cardstock from Tailored Expressions. So we've got, oh, it wants the scoring wheel. Oh, we're going to have to do these one at a time instead of doing them side by side. But you know what? That's okay. So it wants, where is the scoring wheel? I literally never use these because, and honestly, I'm glad it's going to use that, because that is one of the things that I have had a continuous issue with, is I don't end up using their scoring tools because, quite honestly, they do not do a good job. So if you're thinking you want one of these just for that purpose, you don't. Okay. All right, so we're ready to go with that. So let me switch back. Okay, so we are pretty much ready to cut. I need to load the pen. So that's as easy as opening the clamp, pushing that down till it clicks, and closing it. It wants the scoring blade first. I'm going to take out the normal cutting blade, and I'm going to put in the double scoring wheel, which it knows somehow. I don't know how it knows, but it knows. So let's see how this goes. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to load this. Okay, that right there, I can tell you, is insanely faster. Okay, we've got our go button. So let's time this. Okay, so right now it's checking the blade to make sure you've got the right tool in clamp B. Okay. So it's doing its scoring, and I can actually kind of see the score lines, which right there is a big improvement. Because, in case you're ever wondering why I don't set up all of my little mini album elements in Design Space to make cutting them all that much easier, then the measurements are all exact and precise and all that, it's because the scoring on this is not ever good. So now it's going to draw. And this is the part that usually every one of their machines, this exact step has gotten faster and faster and faster. So yeah, we'll see. So once it finishes drawing, it will have us change out the scoring wheel for the normal cutting blade, and then it will cut out the actual project. And considering I can actually see the score lines, I can kind of feel them, and this is on really like heavy, good quality cardstock. This is the Tailored Expression Sugar Cube that, I would use for stamping and card bases and that kind of thing. So, and ink blending and what have you. So we are a minute and a half in, and it is cruising right along, honestly. So I think this project is meant to be like a pencil box So there is, it looks like a maybe 3/8 inch, maybe 1/4 inch gusset. There is a gusset in the project itself. So that's so that you could put like colored pencils in there and do this. This would have been actually a really cool one for like a Valentine's treat to send to school, especially if this is gonna, cut really quickly, which we'll see. Because so far we are 2.5 minutes in, and it's like cruising right along. It kind of looks to me like they've, I don't want to say fixed, but they've kind of changed how it goes about drawing because, and it might just be this project, I'll have to do some more testing with that, because a lot of times like you'll have it writing a sentiment and it will go through and it will cut like do all the vertical lines, then it'll go through and do all the horizontal, and then it will do, it doesn't cut it in the order like if you were writing it yourself. Okay. And this seems to be going more on a like on a line basis, if that makes sense. Kind of like a printer would go back and forth, like an old dot matrix, if that makes sense. And so my screen on the computer says we are at 57%, which, well, that's, a cool feature. We'll see if it's more accurate, because I know that's been one of the things in the past since that update was made to Design Space, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, that it will tell you like it's 100% when the machine is still actively running. So it's not entirely 100% accurate. And just in looking at this machine next to the other one, and it may just be the angle I'm sitting here at, it almost looks like this one is slightly deeper. Same height, same overall, I don't know, but looking from the top, maybe not. That just might be an illusion the way I'm sitting here, but that's okay. Yeah, because it's not like going back and forth on the page like it typically would do. So I'm curious to see how this one's going to run on the other machine. But we'll do that one here in a minute. Okay, so now it's telling me to load. Oh, apparently it wanted a different color in here, but we're good. It's drawing something else. We're doing it in all black though, because it's fine. Because it will tell you on the screen when it pops up, and I literally ignored it because I just assumed it was all one color. That it was all one color. So I didn't read the screen, but that's fine. And really, when it's design space projects that are in the system, like designed for you, ready to go, there's always directions that go with them. So like you open up the project to decide if you're going to do it, to figure out if it's something that's included with, is either free in Design Space, or if you've got Cricut access. Pretty much, I don't think I've ever run across a project with the exception of like the Anna Griffin quilt projects that are in there or were in there. I don't know if they're even still in there. I haven't looked. Those you would end up paying separately for, but typically speaking, if it's one of the Cricut projects that's like ready to go in Design Space, it's not one you're going to be paying for if you've got Cricut Access. If you do not have Cricut Access, it will tell you how much that project's going to cost, and once you buy the project, it's yours. For as long as you have the Cricut. Okay, so now it's telling me to swap this back out. Okay. Whoops. And it's going to just double check. And it did check fairly quickly. Okay, so now it's going to cut. And this is where, if I have issues with thicker cardstock, this is usually where I'm going to have them. But even then, it's usually just a matter of like adjusting your settings. Because like I know with artisan cardstock, I have a custom setting in Design Space for that. So because I put this on heavy 100-pound cardstock, which technically is what it is, it's going to go over all of those cut lines twice. And holy crap, is that cutting fast. Okay. 11 minutes, 6 seconds. So let me get this all reset, and we are going to do it with the Maker 3, and we'll see how long it takes. Oh, I did want to see if it actually... Oh, it did. It cut through just beautifully, which granted, it's a brand new blade. Although I think I just changed my blade in my other one, so we'll see. So let's see how it did. And it's a new mat, so of course it doesn't want to come off. Okay, so there's that one. Let me get the other one set up. Okay, so we are getting ready to cut this a second time with the 3. So I'm going to go ahead and swap that blade around. And can I just tell you, so total side tangent here, I had gotten a silhouette, which I haven't had a silhouette in probably 10 years or better. They were doing a school auction, whatever. So whatever I bid and ended up paying was going towards the school PTA fund. So I ended up getting it for a really good price, like at least half of what it would cost if I were to go buy it like at the store. Brand new in the box. It worked fine the first couple of times I used it. It sat for a couple of months and now it won't cut through anything. And I've been sitting here for like 2 months hearing this like high-pitched kind of whine almost. And I thought it was that machine. And I thought I had it unplugged. No, I'd unplugged the Cricut. So I just unplugged the other one. And now there's no high-pitched whining sound, just constantly with the machine off. So there you go. Anyway, total tangent. All right, so let's go ahead. And I'm not going to take you through the whole setup on this one again, as far as, to actually cut the project. But we will. Okay, so just so I don't forget. All right, we are going to do heavy cardstock. Oh, it's literally a dark blue pen or a black pen. Yeah, I don't care. All right, so let's load this one up. Let's get our timer ready to go. Measuring, and that right there is already faster, or slower, I can tell you. Okay, so we're going to hit go and start at the same time. So the computer says preparing. Okay, just on that part of it, 5 seconds slower. Not a huge deal, but we'll see how long it takes it to actually draw the entire project. And just for comparison's sake, I can tell you right now, it's supposedly scoring. I cannot see the score lines on this at all. I can't see them. This one, you can actually see them, and hopefully I can like zoom in and show you the difference. But like, yeah, you're not seeing them at all on this one. Okay, so I'm sure you can tell just watching this, it is not going nearly as fast. Like, not even close. Um, but we'll let it keep running. Okay, so now it's the pen color that we're not actually changing. Okay, so we are at the exact time that it took the other one to do the project completely, and we are still writing. It's getting close to being done with that. And then we're going to have to switch out our blade again. Okay, so we're going to switch this out. And again, because it's that same 100-pound cardstock setting using that heavy tailored expressions cardstock, that of course is going to do 2 passes on each of the cut lines. Okay, so 13 minutes, 39 seconds, we're going to say, because we're at 38.94. Okay, let me pop that out, put that back in there. Yeah, I'll go ahead and pull this one off. Okay, so this one is our Maker 4. This is our Maker 3. I'm going to see if I can get this where you can see the score lines or lack thereof. I don't think I can get it angled where you can see. Oh, kind of. Okay. You can actually see the score lines on the Maker 4 project. So let's just see. And they're actually still not as good as I would like. But this might very well, but at least I can find them and fold them, and if I fold them towards themselves first, then they're going right where they're supposed to go. So that right there is a big improvement. So, like I said, this is a little card box, so this does kind of fold over like so, and then the little arrows tuck in. Okay, this one, I can't even see the score lines on this one, like at all. And yeah, it's not doing anything when I try to score. So let's try one more thing. I am going to do a new project. I am just going to put a couple of random shapes on the mat. And we are going to use, and no, I don't want to save this. Okay, we are going to put this on black artisan cardstock because that is what I work with 99% of the time. I mean, just, well, artisan cardstock in general, but specifically black. So these are just 4 basic shapes. They're about 2 inches high. So let's get this ready to go again. We're going to see how this one goes. And then I'm going to have to try scoring on something other than the really heavy cardstock. But the fact that it actually did it gives me hope. Okay, so we're loading. Move that out of the way. Okay. And go. Okay, 37 seconds. Not terrible. Okay. So I'm going to run that out. I'm going to put the other scrap on the opposite end. And I'm just going to unplug this one and move it out of the way. For now, we'll pull our other one back over. Okay, switching back to the other machine. Getting ready to go. It's trying to reconnect it. Sometimes when you're going between one machine and the other, because sometimes I've gone like between the Maker and like the Joy. Which typically something little like that I would do with the Joy. Oh, it's gonna make me, okay, you know what? It's not, and I always wondered that if your custom materials were tied to the machine, which apparently they are because my artisan setting is not there. So we are going to oh my gosh, that's just crazy. Okay. All right, here we go. "24 seconds versus 37. So close to half the time for the exact same things. However, because it's not my custom setting, it did not cut all the way through on a couple of these, enough that you can pop them out, but that's why I have a custom setting in there for the artisan, because of course this one, other than I just pulled those, oh, it didn't want to cut those either. Oh no, yeah, it did. They're just stuck. Okay, so it did cut them on the custom setting, so I would have to do my custom setting over again. But yeah, so that's pretty dang fast, actually. It's like 34% faster on just the plain cutting. The other, we were at what, 11.06. And like 20% faster on where it was writing and then cutting. So it is a definite improvement. So all of that being said, if you've got a 3 and you're happy with it, do you need to upgrade? Probably not. Um, if you've got a Maker 3 and you use it to do for a small business, absolutely. Assuming you haven't gotten the Venture, which is, it's fast. In fact, this honestly, the speed on this reminds me of the Venture, but the Venture is so gigantic and expensive and takes up so much space that I just I actually did a focus group on that with Cricut, and I told them it was too big and it was take up too much space and whatever. But I know what they were going for with that one as opposed to with this. Um, but if you just want faster, yeah, definitely upgrade. If you don't necessarily need faster, if you're just using it to do your normal scrapbooking projects and do vinyl, which I don't do vinyl, but I know a lot of you do, for whatever, little projects you're using it for, probably not necessary to upgrade. Personally, I like it being faster, especially the writing, because I do a lot of that with the Cricut. Like, when I have to mass produce cards or something like that, I use the Cricut and I will do the writing and, all that kind of thing. So for me, and then two, for using this for design team projects, because I do use this with the SVG files from Doodlebug for Doodlebug design team projects. And if this will cut that much faster, that will be a huge time saver for me because, it's faster. And like it was significantly faster on just the cutting. So um, there you go. Though that's my thought. I'm not unhappy with it. I'm actually pretty impressed. Um, and any of you, excuse me, that have been following along with my Glowforge saga, I can tell you I have had Cricuts now for, oh my gosh, like 18 years now. I think I started with the expression a million years ago. Whenever I have had a problem with Cricut, I have never ever had an issue with either getting a replacement, with getting someone from support to talk me through a problem. I have never ever had a problem, and I know people like to complain about that with Cricut, but I tell you what, I've been trying to get an answer from Silhouette on why mine won't suddenly cut through anything for like 2 months now. And you know, all I gotta say is, there you go. Cricut stands behind their product. I know the design space updates can be a little frustrating at times, but we still have our storage too, even better. Um, it's a good product, any way you look at it. So um, that's my thoughts. As always, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.